Here we will find the trigonometric ratios in a right triangle. So for our first example, we're using this triangle where the angle up here is marked as x, and then the hypotenuse is a, the angle that is opposite from x is labeled as b, and then the side that is adjacent, the leg that is adjacent to x, is labeled as c. So what we're going to use here is our code word of SOHCAHTOA, SOHCAHTOA, from a geometry class, which means that the sine ratio is found by taking opposite over hypotenuse. The cosine is found by taking the adjacent leg and dividing it by the hypotenuse. And then the tangent ratio is found by taking the opposite leg and dividing it by the adjacent leg. Okay, and that's why we always have to refer to a particular angle when we're finding trigonometric values. So here, first example, let's do the sine of angle x. Angle x is labeled up here. The sine ratio is the opposite to the hypotenuse. So the opposite is the side that's labeled with b, and the hypotenuse is the side that's labeled with a. Next, the cosine is the ratio of adjacent to hypotenuse. So again, related to angle x, the adjacent leg is the side labeled as c, and the hypotenuse is still a. And finally, for the tangent, we need to do the opposite leg divided by the adjacent leg. So we'll take the angle x, look at the leg that's opposite from that angle, that's b, and then take the leg that is adjacent to that angle, which is c. Okay, that provides all basic three trig ratios of a particular right triangle. Okay, now that I've worked through an example, why don't you try one on your own? Try doing this one down here, pause the video, give it a good old shot, and assuming that you paused the video and tried this on your own first, let's now do it together. We have sine of y, cosine of y, and tangent of y. Y is the angle located here in the lower right-hand corner. So as we go opposite from it, that's going to be side A. If we go adjacent leg, that's going to be over here on side B. And the hypotenuse is always opposite from the right angle, so that's going to be this side down here, that's C. So the sine of y, which is the opposite over the hypotenuse, is going to be opposite A over the hypotenuse C. The cosine is going to be the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So that's going to be side B divided by side C. And finally, the tangent, which is opposite leg over adjacent leg, is going to be the A, and that's going to be then divided by the B.